The suspense surrounding the lives of the Forrester and Logan families on The Bold and the Beautiful has reached a new height, with shocking developments that have turned the characters' worlds upside down. The latest turn of events centers on the brutal and shocking news that Taylor Hayes has been murdered at her own home. The rumors surrounding her death have sent shockwaves through the Los Angeles social scene, and the investigation into who is responsible for this heinous act is shrouded in mystery. As the drama unfolds, the focus falls squarely on Brooke Logan, who is thrust into the spotlight as the prime suspect due to the complicated relationships she shares with Taylor and Ridge Forrester. Despite the mounting suspicion, Brooke vehemently denies any involvement in Taylor's death, leaving everyone questioning whether she is telling the truth or hiding something. Meanwhile, Sheila Carter, the cunning and dangerous villain, remains unfazed by the chaos she has caused, continuing to act as if nothing has changed. The intricate web of deceit, jealousy, and betrayal has never been more tangled, and the stage is set for a heart-pounding ride as the mystery surrounding Taylor's death begins to unfold. The rumors about Taylor's brutal murder have spread like wildfire, leaving the Forresters and Logans reeling in shock and disbelief. As news of her death reaches the family, the questions surrounding the circumstances of her murder become more pressing by the minute. Taylor, a beloved figure in the Forrester family and one of the most respected characters on the show, has been struck down in the most violent and unexpected way. What could have led to such a horrific act? Was it a random act of violence, or was it something more personal? As the police begin their investigation, all signs seem to point to one person, Brooke Logan. The complicated history between Brooke and Taylor is no secret to anyone who has followed the show. Their rivalry over Ridge Forrester's affections has been one of the central plots of The Bold and the Beautiful for years. The tension between the two women has simmered for decades, with both battling for Ridge's love, loyalty, and affection. Their feud has been marked by moments of animosity, betrayal, and manipulation, and the emotional stakes have always been high. As the rumors swirl about Taylor's untimely demise, it is only natural that all eyes would fall on Brooke, who has always been seen as Taylor's biggest rival in the battle for Ridge's heart. The question that everyone is asking, did Brooke have a motive to harm Taylor? Could their rivalry have escalated to something more deadly? Brooke, in true fashion, is blindsided by the accusations. She is shocked and appalled that anyone would even consider the possibility of her being involved in Taylor's death. Desperately trying to clear her name, Brooke insists that she would never harm Taylor. Despite their complicated and often hostile relationship, she is adamant that she is not the one responsible for such a gruesome crime. And yet, the mounting evidence seems to suggest otherwise. Brooke's emotional turmoil is palpable as she faces accusations from her family and the police, all while trying to maintain her composure. She continues to assert her innocence, but the weight of suspicion is bearing down on her. Every word she speaks is met with skepticism, and the tension between her and the people closest to her reaches a breaking point. Brooke's distress is compounded by the growing suspicion that her past actions may have led to Taylor's tragic fate. Ridge, who has always been torn between his love for Brooke and his deep bond with Taylor, is left to grapple with the idea that his wife might be involved in something so unspeakable. His emotions are torn between loyalty to his family and the undeniable history of conflict that has always existed between Brooke and Taylor. Ridge's internal struggle becomes one of the central elements of the storyline as he tries to make sense of the situation and determine where his allegiances truly lie. As the investigation into Taylor's murder intensifies, Ridge finds himself questioning everything he thought he knew about Brooke. Could it really be possible that she was capable of something so heinous? Or is there another explanation for the violence that has rocked their world? As the police work to piece together the events leading up to Taylor's murder, the true identity of the killer remains shrouded in mystery. However, it is becoming increasingly clear that the person responsible for Taylor's death is someone with a deep understanding of the Forrester family dynamics. Someone who knows how to play the game of manipulation and deceit. Enter Sheila Carter. Sheila, the iconic villain who has caused so much chaos and heartache over the years, is once again at the center of the drama, though this time, she seems to be watching the aftermath of Taylor's murder unfold with unsettling calmness. Sheila's response to the news of Taylor's death is almost eerily nonchalant. While the world around her is in chaos, Sheila maintains her usual air of confidence and control, showing no signs of remorse or guilt. It's as if the murder of Taylor is just another day in the life of the infamous Sheila Carter. Sheila's calculated indifference raises suspicions that she may have had a hand in Taylor's murder. But no one can prove it, at least not yet. Sheila has always been a master of deception, and her ability to stay under the radar while orchestrating chaos is unparalleled. Could she be the one responsible for Taylor's violent death? Or is she merely playing the role of the bystander, watching as others are consumed by the fallout? Sheila's calm demeanor and lack of emotion in the wake of the tragedy only make her more suspicious. As the investigation progresses, Sheila remains a key figure in the storyline, and her actions will undoubtedly play a pivotal role in the events to come. The contrast between Brooke's emotional turmoil and Sheila's cold detachment creates a stark divide. In the narrative, Brooke, who is struggling to clear her name and maintain her relationships, finds herself at odds with everyone she loves, while Sheila appears to be playing a much more sinister game. The tension between these two women, one desperate for redemption, the other unrepentantly evil, sets the stage for an explosive confrontation that will have far-reaching consequences for everyone involved. In the days following Taylor's death, the pressure on Brooke intensifies. Ridge, who has always been at the heart of the drama between Brooke and Taylor, is forced to confront his own feelings of betrayal. His confusion and doubt about Brooke's involvement in Taylor's death create a rift between them, one that may be irreparable. The Forrester family is torn apart by the tragedy, with each member struggling to make sense of the situation. As they grapple with the loss of a beloved family member, they must also contend with the dark secrets that are slowly coming to light. The investigation into Taylor's murder becomes more complicated as the police uncover new evidence and conflicting testimonies. Brooke's innocence is questioned at every turn, and the specter of Taylor's death looms over the Forrester and Logan families, threatening to tear them apart. With Sheila lurking in the background, the question remains, will the truth ever come to light, or will the darkness of betrayal and manipulation continue to haunt the lives of those who have been touched by Taylor's tragic fate? As the days pass, the mystery surrounding Taylor's murder deepens, and the tension between the characters reaches a boiling point. Brooke's attempts to clear her name, coupled with Sheila's cold indifference, ensure that this storyline will continue to captivate audiences for weeks to come. The truth about what happened to Taylor is still out there, and as the investigation unfolds, viewers can expect more twists, turns, and shocking revelations. In a world where nothing is as it seems, one thing is certain: the dramatic aftermath of Taylor's death will have far-reaching consequences for everyone involved, and the Forrester and Logan families will never be the same again. The latest twists on The Bold and the Beautiful have thrown the Forrester and Logan families into a frenzy of suspicion, heartbreak, and betrayal. The once calm, controlled lives of these characters are now shattered as a shocking murder investigation escalates, with Brooke Logan at the center of it all. The discovery of her fingerprints at the scene of Taylor Hayes' brutal death has turned Brooke's world upside down. As the police move swiftly to arrest her, Brooke maintains her innocence, but with the weight of her complicated history with both Taylor and Ridge Forrester hanging over her, she finds herself under intense scrutiny. The mounting evidence against her paints a picture of guilt, but Brooke swears she had no part in Taylor's murder. Meanwhile, the show's most dangerous and manipulative villain, Sheila Carter, remains eerily calm, seemingly untouched by the chaos she has left in her wake. Unbeknownst to everyone, Sheila's machinations are far from over, and her role in Taylor's death is yet to be fully revealed. The stage is set for an explosive battle as the Logan and Forrester families confront the truth, or the lack thereof, while Sheila continues to pull the strings from the shadows. The discovery of Brooke's fingerprints at the crime scene is a devastating blow to her, especially given her already tarnished reputation in the eyes of many due to her long-standing rivalry with Taylor. Over the years, Brooke and Taylor's tumultuous relationship has been marked by fierce competition for Ridge Forrester's love and loyalty. Their rivalry has often involved manipulation, deceit, and emotional highs and lows, creating a complex and tangled web of relationships that leaves everyone wondering whether Brooke's actions could have gone too far this time. While many viewers might have questioned if Brooke could ever have crossed a line before, the news of her fingerprints at Taylor's home pushes this question to a whole new level. The public and the police have already formed their own conclusions, and the pressure is mounting on Brooke to prove her innocence. Brooke finds herself in a position she never imagined, accused of a crime she vehemently denies committing, surrounded by mounting suspicion and condemnation. Brooke, unable to fathom why her fingerprints were found at the scene, insists on her innocence. She passionately declares that she did not murder Taylor and cannot understand how her fingerprints ended up at Taylor's home. Despite her protests, no one seems to believe her, and the police are quick to arrest her, treating her as the prime suspect. As the investigation intensifies, all eyes turn to Brooke, who is now fighting not only for her freedom but also for her very reputation. Her history with Taylor is laid bare for all to see, and the public's perception of her becomes more complicated by the minute. Ridge, her husband, is torn between his love for Brooke and the undeniable reality of the evidence against her. Ridge has always been at the heart of the drama between Brooke and Taylor. Caught in the middle of their feuds and disputes, his internal struggle is heartbreaking, as he is forced to question everything he thought he knew about the two women in his life. Can he trust Brooke's claims of innocence, or is the evidence too damning to ignore? Ridge's emotions are further complicated by the fact that, in his heart, he knows that his marriage to Brooke has always been fraught with complications. Brooke's fiery love for him has often been at odds with her rivalry with Taylor. And Ridge cannot ignore the possibility that, in a moment of anger or desperation, Brooke might have acted out of a twisted sense of vengeance. But deep down, Ridge knows Brooke, and part of him struggles to believe she could commit such a heinous act. He is caught between the woman he loves and the overwhelming evidence staring him in the face. Ridge's pain and confusion are compounded by the tension with his family, who are now divided over whether or not to stand by Brooke in this critical moment. The Forrester family, who has always been a pillar of support for Ridge and his relationships, is equally torn. Steffi, Ridge's daughter, is skeptical of Brooke's innocence, especially given the history of animosity between her mother, Taylor, and Brooke. Steffi's fierce loyalty to her mother runs deep, and the news of Taylor's murder hits her hard. She is determined to see justice served for her mother, no matter the cost. Steffi's emotional state becomes increasingly volatile as the investigation continues, and her relationship with Brooke becomes strained to the breaking point. Steffi is not the only one struggling with the situation. Ridge's other children, Thomas and Hope, also grapple with their own conflicting feelings about the investigation. The Forrester family finds itself in a state of upheaval, with each member facing their own inner turmoil as they try to navigate the fallout from Taylor's tragic death. In the midst of the chaos surrounding Brooke's arrest and the murder investigation, Sheila Carter remains a looming figure, almost untouched by the storm she has set in motion. Sheila, the master manipulator who has caused endless suffering for those around her, maintains an eerie calm as the world unravels around her. She watches with satisfaction as Brooke is dragged through the mud, and she relishes in the turmoil her actions have caused. Sheila has always thrived in chaos, and now, as the police close in on Brooke, she seems to be taking a backseat, allowing the investigation to play out while she works her own plans from the shadows. Sheila's dark presence looms over every scene, and it's clear that her role in Taylor's death is far from over. Sheila has long been a master of deception, and her ability to stay one step ahead of everyone around her is legendary. She is fully aware of the suspicion surrounding Brooke, and though she remains outwardly calm, she knows that the pieces of her grand plan are falling into place. Sheila has always had an uncanny ability to manipulate people to her advantage. And with Brooke now at the center of the investigation, she sees an opportunity to strike once again. Sheila knows exactly how to push people's buttons and how to create chaos. And she uses this to her advantage, manipulating those around her to further her own goals. The fact that she is seemingly unaffected by the police investigation into Taylor's death speaks to Sheila's unshakable confidence and the depths of her malevolence. The contrast between Brooke's emotional turmoil and Sheila's calm, collected demeanor creates an intense dynamic in the storyline. Brooke is scrambling to clear her name, facing accusations from every side, while Sheila calmly watches from the sidelines, quietly continuing to manipulate events. As the investigation into Taylor's death intensifies, the question on everyone's mind is whether Sheila is the true mastermind behind the murder. Could she have orchestrated Taylor's death and framed Brooke to take the fall? Or is there another sinister plot at play, one that will take even the characters and the viewers by surprise? The tension continues to rise as secrets are uncovered and the investigation progresses. And Sheila's dark influence continues to grow. As the weeks go on, the mystery surrounding Taylor's death deepens, and the Forrester and Logan families find themselves entangled in a web of lies, deceit, and betrayal. Brooke's struggle to prove her innocence is far from over, and her journey to uncover the truth behind Taylor's murder will be fraught with danger, heartbreak, and unexpected twists. The investigation into Sheila's involvement in the murder becomes a central focus. And as the pieces of the puzzle slowly come together, the shocking truth will come to light. Will Brooke clear her name and prove her innocence? Or will the police close in on her and convict her of a crime she didn't commit? And will Sheila's dark plans finally be exposed? Or will she continue to operate in the shadows, pulling the strings of those around her? The drama surrounding Taylor's death has only just begun, and the twists and turns in this murder mystery will leave fans on the edge of their seats as they await the truth to be revealed.
Oh,